We found out earlier today the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the Classic Edition, is coming back for the low cost of $79.99, available September 29th, 2017. How you guys feeling about the SNES Classic?
Turn of the Mac.
It's a great price point. I was so happy when I saw that.
Two
I think
controllers, yo.
I think the problem is they're going to be able to keep it on shelves long enough for everybody to get their hands on it.
So they've said
I have the answer to that.
They said that there's going to be more units of this than there was with the NES. So hopefully, I was looking earlier today to see if I could just pre-order one now, just to make sure I can get one. Cause we'll get into it in a little bit. But the titles that are coming preloaded on this thing, they're great. But it looks dope. It's literally just a little miniature Super Nintendo that fits in the palm of your hand. The controllers, I'm not sure, but they look like they might even be the original size of the controllers. They might be smaller. We'll see when we actually can kind of see a real one on display, at least.
Is it
one in our hands? But
are you going to be able to? It might be too small. I was thinking, what if you had like old Super Nintendo cartridges lying around? You think you'd be able to shove it in there, or is it not? It's probably too small, huh?
I'm not sure because it's literally shaped exactly like a Super Nintendo, and it has the slot on the top that looks like you might be able to put a cartridge in it.
It has the port for the cartridges, but the question is it going to be functional?
So if that cartridge port is functional, do you think this is console of the year, low key?
Oh, no, hell no, but it'd be a good value.
I don't know. The titles that are on. All right, let's get into the games. The only reason why I mentioned that is, yes, these games are classic games, but there is one thing that is coming with this that is, this was genius in my opinion by Nintendo. It's coming with an unreleased version of Star Fox. Star Fox 2 is coming with the SNES Classic Edition. What is that? What is never before
That's that
released?
truth right there.
So Nintendo, they said, Nintendo has been going with, all cylinders all year with the Switch. We knew they were coming. We knew they were coming with the SNES Classic, but I didn't know it was gonna come like this. Now, in our previous podcast, we even came up with lists of titles that we wanted to see on this bad boy, and a lot of the titles that we mentioned happen to be on this. Some of them aren't, but every title that is on here, I'm completely satisfied with. So it's coming preloaded with 21 classic Super Nintendo games. So we got Super Mario World, we have Super Mario Kart, we have The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, which is a classic. We get F-Zero, Super Metroid. We've mentioned Star Fox 2,
Man.
which is dope. I can't wait to play that, as well as Star Fox. We get Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Punch Out, Castlevania 4, Donkey Kong Country, Mega Man X, Kirby Superstar, which is 8 games in one game. Now we're getting into bigger games now too. We got Final Fantasy 3. We get Kirby's Dream Course, Yoshi's Island, which is, let's not forget about Yoshi's Island.
Here, man.
We get Super Mario RPG. When I saw this, I was like, oh, it's over. I have to get this. If I have to pre-order it now, it's coming preloaded with Super Mario RPG. Gino's finally getting a comeback, even though it's not in a new title. He's actually coming back. I'm super excited for that. We get Contra 3, Secret of Mana, which was a game that was on my list, a game that I thoroughly enjoyed. I can't wait to play through that again. Earthbound. Yes, Earthbound, for those who never got to play Earthbound because it was a super rare game. You get Earthbound, and then of course you get Super Ghouls and Ghosts loaded on that bad boy as well. Retailer info is coming soon, they say, but those. What do you think about those titles?
So
Super Ghouls, do I get Infinite Life? because other than that, I don't think I will be beating that game.
Does how does this work? So it comes with a 21 preloaded. Do they come out with some type of patch or something like that that adds more games later on, or is it just this?
I believe this is it because
Yeah.
that's how they did it with the NES.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was gonna have like internet functionality where you could get patches and stuff like that.
That would be crazy.
Mm.
I doubt it though.
I mean, I'm sure someone may do that on their own and
Yeah.
potentially make it available. Who knows?
Then that cartridge port better be functional. The list of games is amazing, but I don't know, 21 games is a little short for me.
Mm. Well, I agree with that, but then also looking, I mean, Secret of Mana, that's a lengthy game. Final Fantasy 3 is a lengthy game. Super Mario RPG itself is a lengthy game. Donkey Kong Country isn't bad either. These titles, I mean, they're pretty solid titles. Even Super Mario World is really no joke when it comes to the size.
No,
of
I'm not saying the length of the games is short because they put enough content on there to keep you busy or satisfied, but not everybody's into the RPG element of Super Nintendo. So for a lot of people, that list falls short.
True.
I think that, I mean, if you're going to do 21, I think they did a decent job with the variety in games that I'm seeing here. But
Yeah.
remember when we were talking earlier, guys, we were talking about 30 games because I believe the NES Classic had 30. And I think that would have been the sweet spot. But a good amount of games. I mean, if you think about these individually, they probably run for $8 at least online on the eShop or something like that. And so you're getting 21, and then could be 30, should be 30. Real talk knowledge, shout out. But at least you're getting two controllers.
And Kirby Superstar, they're low key probably counting that as 8 games in one because it is 8 games in one. So they're probably trying to lowball us with that because they're like, well, we gave you Kirby Superstar and that's technically 8 games in one. Now
that's 27 games.
Right. It would have been nice if they had
All Stars.
Yeah, Super Mario All Stars instead of just Super Mario World, and then that would have been like, okay, because then at least you get all of the Mario games, all of the Kirby games. But I mean, other than that,
I do want to play Contra with you though, knowledge. I want to play Contra.
Yes. We'll never beat it, but we can play it all.
No, we will not.
Yeah, same thing with Mega Man X probably too. That was rough back in the day as well.
But that was a tough one there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm digging it. I'm excited. Super Nintendo was my favorite console. It probably to date is still in my top 3-4 consoles. So I'm excited. I can't wait to have one. If I can get one. Hopefully I can order
Castlevania
one.
though.
I don't want to have to camp outside to get this, but
to everybody who's watching this and who's just considering getting this console, you jump on it now because the way that they handled the NES, to be polite, it was piss poor. So you need to get your hands on one now because it's a pretty good chance, they might have upped the production, saying much to me. So if you're going to get one, you better get one now or you're not going to be able to get one.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. And as of now,
Nintendo has such a hard time.
No, I agree. Hopefully they put out more units, maybe double the units that they did with the NES Classic, but I think it'll be dope. Yo, what's up everybody? It's your friend Corey Elijah from PlayLegit.net, here to let you know about the Mission 3 podcast, the premier podcast for gaming, real talk, and nerd culture. 3 missions, 3 guests, 10 minutes per mission. Will the guest successfully answer each mission within time? You'll find out live every week It's an awesome podcast. We've already gone through a few episodes, so make sure you stop by Play Legit Network on YouTube so you can get the playbacks of those. Or if you want to just tune in and listen to it through your earbuds, you can even check it out on SoundCloud. Make sure you just follow us on our Twitter page and our Facebook page so you can make sure you get all the updates when we're putting out polls for the show, as well as when we're going to be broadcasting live, so you can communicate with us in the chat. I have a great time recording it with my co-host KJ and Knowledge, and sometimes we even have other members from Play Legit step in. It's always awesome. The atmosphere is always intense, and you don't want to miss it. So make sure you check out the Mission 3 podcast exclusively on playlegit.net.
It's something new, man.
Yeah, that it is.